So folks, here we are on an overnighter right behind the camera. We just pulled up to a location where we are trying out a new camping spot. I got my dog Tommy, my buddy Peter, and we're just doing an overnighter. And in this video, I was thinking through when I was getting my car camping set up. I have a bin, and maybe at some point we'll do a video on the whole bin, but I was doing, just getting prepared and putting all my stuff in my bin that I take car camping. And there are 3 tools, essential tools that go with me every single time. And they're a little maybe outside the box than what you would expect, but I think these are 3 essential camping tools that when you're car camping, maybe you're RVing across America, whatever it may be, if you had these 3 tools, I think that they would be really good to put inside one of your camping systems and do a lot of work for you around the campsite. So let's go ahead and take a look at my 3 essential camping tools. All right, folks, so number 1 on the list is probably somewhat unconventional. You may not have been expecting it, but we have here the Cold Steel Special Forces SPORTSMANS entrenching tool or shovel. That's what we have here, and we'll have links in the description below over to Amazon for all 3 of these tools that we're looking at. This guy's going to run you $30 with the sheath, and this sheath has a lot of lashing options, so you can attach it to packs, your belt even, and gives you a lot of capability if you do want to hike this up somewhere. Again, this is for car camping for the most part, is how I use this system that I'm sharing with you. But the reason that you have this sheath here is because you have a rather sharp edge all the way around this tool. And an entrenching tool, not only are you digging into all kinds of different ground, roots, that type of stuff, but obviously, last minute, self-defense if you had to. People have survived through wars, when they're digging a trench and there's a bonsai charge or something, and that's all they had in their hand, but they were able to, defend themselves and take out and dispatch 1 or 2 bad guys in order to get their firearm or do whatever they needed to. So there's that capability, obviously, last ditch, self-defense tool. You can do light hacking as well. I've done, delimbing smaller trees and branches that are about the size of your wrist, 2 to 3 inches. You can do that easily with this shovel and not too difficult at all. And then, clearing out your fire pit and digging that out if you need to dig a fire pit. And when it's time to put it out as well, you don't have to waste water. You can just use your shovel to, put it out with the dirt, obviously. And then finally, digging your latrine. I can't tell you how many times I've found a tree that I'm going to kind of rest up against when, the call of nature hits me, and I got to dig my hole, and I've just got like a little spade or something like that, a little hand shovel, and it does not work very well when you're digging through some of those roots. But because of this sharp edges and just really well built shovel, you can really cut through roots and that type of stuff and get that latrine dug quickly, particularly if nature calls it a odd time in the middle of the night or whatever it may be. So that's why I love this tool. It has so many capabilities. We use it constantly on our camping trips when we're doing car camping, and I absolutely love it. Next up is a machine of a tool for wood processing. The Sven Saw out of Duluth, Minnesota, I believe is where it's from. Yep, USA made. And this is the 15-inch version. There is a 21-inch version as well, which I will probably upgrade to at some point, just so I get even more blade length. And again, I carry this because in the car system and in the car bin for car camping, because it's a little big for me for backpacking. I prefer my folding Silky Saw or a Bajo Laplander. Those are the ones I prefer when I'm actually backpacking. But car camping, weight's not really an issue. And what's awesome about this is going to run you about $30 to $35 for the 15-inch version. Obviously 15 inches of this blade, and this thing just eats up wood like nobody's business, and then collapses all nice and slim down into just the red handle. And then you take it all apart, and it just eats through very large pieces of wood faster than any hatchet or small axe that I have. Definitely any large blade that I have. I mean, and any of my other folding saws. This is the fastest of them all, partly because of the teeth and partly just because of the size of the blade. You can span more of the log and cut through faster. Now, it's not a perfect system. Some things to note is that, the wing nut back here is the piece holding it all together. You lose this wing nut, it's useless. So maybe find 1 or 2 spares, keep those, even on a little lanyard, run it through there or something like that. So that's something always to consider. Hey, you lose the wing nut, then you can toss this thing until you find another one. Blades are replaceable, so that's a plus. But then the handle ergonomics, it's not quite as intuitive as I would have liked. Some of it's just the angle, and sometimes you gotta do 2 hands, different stuff like that. I would like to maybe just see a little bit more. Maybe if the angle was adjusted slightly, that would just help with overall sawing. But for the price point, I don't have another saw that can even compete with the larger, heavier tasks and just eats up wood like this 15-inch Sven Saw. And again, we'll have links below for those of you interested in this bad boy for the heavy duty wood processing. And last but not least, we have here the Hasqvarna 13-inch hatchet. And this guy will go anywhere between $35 and $40 over on Amazon. And I love this hatchet because it gives me not only just a better head overall than some of the other hatchets in this price range from Fiskars and things like that. You know, it's got a really beefy head, really good weight. I've always enjoyed using this. You know, it's Swedish made forged steel, US hickory, you know, handle, and just really well set up, feels very comfortable in the hand, and just gives me a lot of power for chopping tasks. And then it gives me a better edge retention as well than many of those other kind of in the $40, you know, hand hatchet, camp hatchet, you know, size range. So really well done. You know, that you get a leather sheath that you do have to do a little bit of kind of modifying to make sure it stays on there all the time. I just did a little shock cord, punched a hole through it and put a shock cord on it. But, you know, a leather, you know, scabbard to keep it. And just really well done, you know, kind of a convex grind there. And then if you want to work on it, you can get it to the grind angles, you know, that you want. But for splitting tasks, you know, for chopping and heavy chopping tasks for $40, I mean, it's a powerhouse. And I don't know of too many other either axes or knives that it can even compete at that price range with its splitting and chopping capability, the Hasqvarna 13-inch hatchet. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope this video has just kind of helped you out, pointing you in the right direction. Again, this is the system that goes car camping with me all the time. You know, and I may take other saws and I may take other stuff I'm testing or whatever, but I always make sure that these 3 tools are in my bin that go with me car camping because they're just so reliable. They're rather inexpensive. This whole package is under $100, and they're going to be able to process wood, you know, dig fire pits, help build a latrine, do whatever I need to, basically anything and everything I could think of that I need to do around a campsite for either getting a fire going or taking care of my personal needs. These tools get it done and have been doing that for years for me. So as always, thank you so much for coming over here, checking out the channel. And honestly, guys, it does really help when you hit like, when you subscribe. If you like what you see here, we're always putting out new content every single week and always helping you guys out think through your systems and whether or not tools and ideas and concepts work inside systems that you're building and finding the right system that works for you. So it does mean a lot when you guys do like this video and when you subscribe and when you comment, when you go check out our social media as well. You can see what else is coming down the line, what other videos we have planned, what other stuff we're reviewing at the moment. So maybe you're like, oh, I was going to buy that, but I'll hold off for a couple weeks or a month or two until, you know, that video comes out. That's always a great way, and that's one of the things we do on the social media side on Facebook and Instagram. So as always, remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.